Hi, everybody. My name is Megan Fielder. I'm the author and creator behind Algebra Elevated, where I love to create digital and printable resources to help teachers save time grading. So, what I'm here to talk about today is about my math support class that I've had on and off the last couple of years. And I finally have honed into a format that has really worked well for my students in my classroom. So, stay tuned. So, as a math support teacher at my district and my school, which I know is different for everyone everywhere, there was little to no guidance for me. So, I had to kind of start from scratch and decide what direction I wanted to take my class, what the purpose of my class would be. In all I had to go off of was support their math learning. Okay, that's a big open topic. Now, my specific position, this is a elective class in my school, and it's meant to help students that are kind of on the bubble. So there may be your DC students, and we're trying to get them more to an AB type student. So they don't need every new foundational skill out there, but there are definitely gaps in their understanding that is leading them to kind of struggle throughout the class, throughout the year. So in my position, I felt like it was really helpful to help them in their math class or support directly what they are doing in their math class. So what I decided to do is every week of the school year, we focused on a new topic. So one week we were talking about solving linear equations. The next week we might learn about solving multi-step linear equations. The next week we might do solving with distribution. So all three of those are solving because the unit in their Math 8 class at the time is on solving. And so those topics all go into that unit, but each week I'm going to focus in on a very specific piece of that. And then what happens is I build them up throughout the week to get to whatever level they are actually doing in their regular math class by the end of the week. So say we're going back to solving equations. On Monday, I'm going to break it down to the basics. We're going to solve one-step equations. I might do all four operations, but there's still only one step. Then on Tuesday, now that we've practiced that skill, I add in two-step equations. And then on Wednesday, maybe I move the variable to the other side, but it's still a two-step equation. Thursday, I usually don't add anything new because by then it's most likely similar to the level that they are experiencing in their regular class. And so Thursday and Friday, we perfect that skill. Now a little more behind the scenes. So that's the topic choosing I did throughout each week. So like I said, every single week was something new. Sometimes it was drastically different. So maybe if we're in the slope unit, I did slope from graphs for an entire week. And then the next week I did slopes from tables an entire week. Again, it's still about slopes, but two completely different visual representations. Every single week, I tried to kind of start the week off fresh. So I didn't love to build off of the week before too much because these are students that historically have struggled. And some of that is just attendance issues. Some of that is just when it builds on each other. So I like to kind of focus in on little foundational skills that will be really important as they continue on in math. So that's the topic, like I said, but now how do I actually make that work in my classroom? As a support class, I needed to remember that they might not be coming to me with a lot of hard written out notes from their other class. Ideally, they would, but things get lost, people are absent, things are misplaced, whatever the reason. I'm not to say that they have it or not. So what I like to do is I love to do a 10 or 15 minute mini lesson at the start of each day. So I come up with 2 to 4 problems, depending on how long they take, that will kind of give a range of practice for my students on the new skill. I'll talk about the notes throughout these problems. Sometimes I give them little step-by-step written out. Sometimes this is really formal. I have a worksheet I just kind of whipped up. And sometimes it's super informal. I just grab a lined piece of paper and they grab a lined piece of paper right alongside me. 10 or 15 minute mini lesson. Keep it short, keep it simple, Keep it focused on something very, very little in the general puzzle of whatever you're trying to do. After that 10 or 15-minute mini lesson, now I move into practice. This is sometimes individual, sometimes group, sometimes very active, sometimes very at your seat. But the biggest thing for me is I kept it different almost every day. So if Monday we did a worksheet, Tuesday we were doing something online, Wednesday could be a scavenger hunt around the room, which I love to do. Thursday could be a digital game, so like a quizzes, a Kahoot, a Blooket, something like that to get them kind of working with each other. And then Friday was maybe something, whatever I haven't done in a little while, something different, maybe an escape room, something more unique that they don't see all the time. And I would repeat this process every single week. The last thing that kind of adds into this is that on Fridays, I would sometimes do like a Friday check. And so that would be 4 to 6 problems like we have been practicing all week that are very similar to the level of difficulty that they will have to do on their unit test for their regular math class. And then based on how they did with that exit ticket, it would help me decide if that topic needed to be practiced more or refined the following week, or if it was something that we could move on and start a new week with something new. All of this is just my individual experience, but I know that I was very overwhelmed with the freedom that came with teaching a math support class. I didn't know what direction to take it. I didn't know how serious to make it. I didn't know how laid back to make it. The biggest thing that I took away from all of this is these students need things to be simple and short when they're learning them. They cannot process these multi-step new skills right away. So I like to build off of those skills little by little so that over time they got better at it. The other thing I learned, and it might just be my position in my school, I was teaching a support class for a class that I did not teach, which put me in a weird position because I wasn't positive what they were doing in the regular math class every single day. I knew the general unit they were in, I knew what tests were going to look like, but I didn't have the day-to-day understanding of what they were doing. This made it so that it was very difficult to give them support on individual homework assignments or individual lessons because I didn't really know what those lessons or what those homework assignments were exactly. If they brought them from their regular math class, I would definitely support them, which a lot of students did if they finished early. But I didn't say, everybody get out this homework assignment, we're going to do it together. That's just not something that I could do with my individual setup. So, super broad, and hopefully something in there kind of resonated or gave you an idea for how to structure your own support class if you have one, or if you're thinking about taking one on. I would be happy to share more about my experience with teaching a math support class because I know it was a unique opportunity for me to have that class. So if you would like to connect further, please feel free to message me on Instagram at Algebra Elevated. Aside from that, if you could like, comment, or share this video, I'd greatly appreciate it. But I hope you have a fabulous day, and I will talk to you soon.